Designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
For 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at chooseprimavera.com. That's chooseprimavera.com.
When your auto insurance shows up, every call, every claim, every day, that's a win. J.D. Power has ranked AAA #1 for auto insurance customer satisfaction in the Southwest 2 years running. Get a quote at AAA.com/quote. Visit JDPower.com for details.
Del, yeah. Slow-cooked pork carnitas are back at Del Taco. Simmered in authentic spices for hours and loaded into your favorite Del items. Del Taco's carnitas bring that bold flavor you've been craving. They're available in street tacos, loaded fries, a combo burrito, quesadilla, nachos, and even a big fat taco. You can't hurry flavor like this, but you better hurry into Del Taco because they're only here for a limited time. Get your slow-cooked carnitas today, only at Del Taco. Del, yeah.
The KDUS AM 1060 app is brought to you by Law Bear Auto Accident Attorneys. Hurry to lawbear.com.
That's lawbear.com. The bear has your back.
It's the lunch break.
Tuesday edition. The lunch break. Right here, KDUS AM 1060. Streaming on the free KDUS AM 1060 app, and you can watch us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Chris Schubert, producer Evan with you. Thank you for hanging out with us here today on the show. It is the return of the NFL News Dump in hour number 2 of the program today. The wait is over. I think this marks the official return of football in our lives. A lot to make of what the Diamondbacks did and did not do yesterday at the MLB trade deadline. We will talk about last night's game as well. Potentially the savior of this Diamondback season was on the mound last night for this team as well. All of it today and then some on the Tuesday edition of the program. Producer Evan.
Now that might be true.
How are you today, my friend?
I'm good. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy
Tuesday.
NFL News Dump
That's
Day.
Right. It's back.
Trade deadline is officially over, so the madness and fun of yesterday unfortunately comes to a close.
Do you feel any pressure with today being the first news dump? Do you feel like you got to hit this? It's like opening day in baseball. You have to come out swinging. You got to lead with your best foot forward.
You do. Now I was a little lucky this morning. You
got some extensions that
are certainly notable.
Yeah.
That we'll get into, and so don't want to give away, but I did have some stories.
Yeah.
This morning that definitely added to the news dump.
Yeah, it fell into your lap a little bit of the news dump, and I think we picked a good day for it to come back, and it timed up pretty well. I'll tell you, I'm a little angry today. I'm a little frustrated today, and I never try to tell you what to feel. I never try to tell anybody that listens, that consumes this program, that hangs out with us on YouTube. I never tell you how to fan. We may disagree on how to fan. We may disagree on a move, a decision in a game, a result. We may disagree, but I never tell you how to feel. I'm going to change that today. And I'm going to tell you that you should be as angry as I am today. You should be as frustrated as I am today. Because the Daily Special, and I'll hit the button here in a second, the Diamondbacks failed you yesterday.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
They failed, and they failed you yesterday. It was one move at the MLB trade deadline for the Arizona Diamondbacks. It was Lars Nootbaar, an outfielder that we've mentioned as a potential trade target for the Diamondbacks in a previous show. Somebody that was on our radar as an option for this team ahead of the deadline. But that was it. Casey Mize went to a division rival. A Clay Holmes deal with the Mets apparently fell through because of some failed medicals. No bullpen help walking through that clubhouse door to join the Diamondbacks for this series against the Padres. No starting pitching help outside of the hopeful return from injuries and the one bat. And we'll break down Lars Nootbaar here in a little bit. An okay addition from this team. But they failed yesterday. They failed you yesterday. They didn't do enough. Everybody else around them yesterday got a lot better. The Phillies got a lot better. The Padres got a lot better yesterday. Adding Robbie Ray, adding Casey Mize. Their offense has actually been performing closer to the back of their respective baseball cards lately. You add 2 veteran arms. We've told you before you get a game into the 8th or 9th inning against the Padres, good luck. It's a team that's playing a lot better. They improved yesterday. The Cubs got better yesterday. The Pirates added to their bullpen. They're not going to go quietly into that good night. And so, yeah, for the moment, you may still have one of those 3 playoff spots, but do you have enough? Do you have enough to survive the remainder of August and September? Do you have enough to get through this regular season and get into the postseason? And I just don't know if this team has enough. I certainly don't think they did enough yesterday. And they failed to go out and get that starter. They failed to go out and get anybody. Not just a high leverage arm. You didn't have to go out and get Luke Weaver or Brooks Raley. You didn't have to go out and get, Jeff Hoffman was on the move yesterday. You didn't have to do that. There were relievers flying all over the place. Antonio Senzatella got moved. The Marlins moved Lake Bacher late in the day yesterday. There were options to give you depth, to give Torey Lovello some choices out there in this bullpen for the final 2 months of the season. You didn't do any of that. And you failed. Now, you failed in a couple of different ways yesterday. I think you failed because you didn't do enough. But there are those out there that are defending Mike Hazen. And Producer Evan, I'd like to bring you in here for a second because I have some yes or no questions. And maybe not yes or no questions, but they're one-word answer questions that I need your help with.
Hit me with them.
Is there anybody that does talk radio in this valley that has been a stronger defender of Mike Hazen than I have?
I don't think so.
Is there anybody in talk radio or any type of media in this market that defends this organization more than I do?
I don't think so.
So usually I give Mike Hazen, Torey Lovello, the Diamondbacks organization the benefit of the doubt more than most, if not towards being more than most. Fair?
Correct. I would 100% agree.
Well, I'm not going to do that today. Mike Hazen's not getting the benefit of the doubt today. Torey Lovello is not getting the benefit of the doubt today. This organization is not getting the benefit of the doubt today. Because here is the other way Mike Hazen failed. I think this organization failed because they didn't do enough. But I saw a lot of people yesterday defending Mike Hazen because of how impassioned he was meeting with the media. I've seen a lot of people defending Mike Hazen because of how annoyed and angry he looked yesterday because he couldn't get any moves done. And so the defense is, well, what more did you want Mike Hazen to do? He couldn't make a deal happen. These teams were asking for Ryan Waldschmidt. These teams were asking for Tommy Troy. These teams were asking for all of the Diamondbacks' top prospects. Here is where the Diamondbacks failed you, and they failed the organization yesterday. Because whose fault is it that the Diamondbacks don't have a farm system deep enough, well-stocked enough, with prospects that other teams are enamored by? Whose fault is that? Whose responsibility is it to draft and develop and bring prospects up through the system so that you are able to trade those guys at the deadline? That falls on Mike Hazen as well. So yes, other teams didn't want what the Diamondbacks were offering yesterday. Yes, all of these teams were asking for Waldschmidt, Tommy Troy, the top end of the Diamondback system. And I don't blame Mike Hazen for not wanting to trade Ryan Waldschmidt. I think that's the right decision. Not wanting to trade Tommy Troy. I think that's the right decision. But it's Mike Hazen and this organization's fault in the first place that you got to this deadline and other organizations look at this farm system and they say, it's Waldschmidt or nothing. That is an indictment of your player development process. That is an indictment of your drafting process. That is an indictment on the overall health of your system. So sure, Mike Kazan's annoyed yesterday. Probably still annoyed today. I'm annoyed. He may be annoyed that they weren't able to do more. But whose fault is that? It's his. It's his front office. It's his player development. It's his draft room. The trade deadline and acquiring players and making these moves happen is a reflection of your job of player development. Because there's a bunch of leaks now that are starting to happen of what other teams reportedly offered the Tigers for Tarek Skubal. We learned today that it's a combination of some of the top prospects in the Brewers system that were offered out there that made up what would be considered, I think, a reasonable, decent package for Tarek Skubal. Somewhat similar to the deal that the Dodgers gave up. But you know what? The Tigers internally didn't like what the Brewers offered. They didn't like those prospects. They didn't care where they were on a top 10 list. They didn't care where they were on a top 100 list. They looked at those prospects and they said, we don't like these guys. We like these guys better. We like Zaire Hope better. We like River Ryan better. We like this package of prospects better than your prospects. I don't care that this is your 12th best prospect or your 9th best prospect. We don't rate these prospects very well. Yesterday, the sport of baseball told the Arizona Diamondbacks, we don't like your prospects. We like your top prospect. We like the guy that's kind of contributing at the big league level for you, but we don't like anybody else. And then the move that you do make yesterday is an overpay. That's the icing on the top of the cake yesterday, is that the Nootbaar trade, and a player that I like, and we're going to talk about him here in a second, he does some things that I think are going to help this team. But you give up a prospect that I think is widely considered an overpay for somebody of Lars Nootbaar's caliber. So I think you missed it entirely yesterday. You didn't do enough. The player you did get, you overpaid for, and you basically were embarrassed by the sport of baseball because they told you, we don't like any of your prospects. You had to deal with the Mets. They went through the medicals, and they're like, yeah, we don't like these guys. You missed the mark at every turn yesterday, and I am not going to defend somebody whichever way you want to slice it. I am not going to defend the organization that put themselves in that situation yesterday.
I thought yesterday was embarrassing. I really don't know how else I can lay it out than saying that. Because yesterday was an indictment that this team is behind 20-plus teams in this league. And yes, they're ahead of a lot in the standings. But yesterday showed that even last year, when you were a seller and you traded away Merrill Kelly and you traded away Eugenio Suarez, who may have been the best power bat at the deadline, and an all-star first baseman in Josh Naylor, you didn't get a good enough return to flip it this year. So much so that, again, to double down on your point, the only thing people were interested in was a guy who has contributed multiple times for this team this year at the big league level in Ryan Waldschmidt. It was an embarrassment in the developmental department, in the drafting department, whoever is finding, international prospects is not doing a good enough job. Your system is behind 20-plus of these teams, and yesterday it showed.
I think it's a great point by you that you look at all the moves that they made at the deadline last year and the players that they brought back, and you're supposed to restock your system, whether it's players that can contribute for you, because there's different ways to look at when a team sells. I think by default, when a team makes a trade and your team is a seller at the deadline, you look at the prospects that are coming back and you ask yourself, how are they going to help the big league club? There's another way that they can help you. They are pieces that you then move down the line in other trades because other teams are intrigued by that profile, by that player, by that prospect. And so that you don't have to acquire somebody that becomes a future all-star for you. You can acquire somebody that 6, 12, 18 months down the road, another team is really interested in, and that's the missing piece that makes a deal happen. Think about this for a second. All the prospects that this team got back last year, Cole Drake, Mitch Bratt, Tyler Locklear, Andrew Hoffman, Brandon Garcia. All of these guys, Juan Murillo, that they got back at the deadline last year. Now, apparently teams were asking about Brandon Garcia and Juan Murillo, and the Diamondbacks said, no, I think that's the right decision. But when the rest of your farm system is so behind everybody else, you kind of get exposed. And the Diamondbacks got exposed yesterday. So they failed. However you want to slice it. If you want to try to defend the organization and say, well, Mike Hazen tried, well, guess what? Trying didn't get the Diamondbacks a starter yesterday. Trying didn't get them a reliever yesterday. They were fighting uphill. And you know whose fault that is? It's Mike Hazen's. It's this organization's fault for being behind everybody else, behind a lot of teams when it came to prospects. Padres were able to make a last-minute deal for Casey Mize because they got a bunch of prospects they're able to just churn and burn. A.J. Preller's a master at doing that. He's a master at churning and burning prospects. He traded the number 2 prospect in the sport a year ago for Mason Miller. He was still able to wheel and deal at the deadline and get Casey Mize and get Robbie Ray and keep Mason Miller and try to put together a squad that's going to go for it the remainder of this season. So it's doable. You can trade prospects and continue to replenish your system. The Diamondbacks just don't have a good system, and that was on full display yesterday.
I mean, I think A.J. Preller is maybe the best example. They lost the Juan Soto trade, maybe the worst I've ever seen a prospect package work out. Like, James Wood is an unbelievable player. C.J. Abrams may be better. Mackenzie Gore is a big league pitcher. Yeah, it's been tough at times, but he's a big league pitcher. They lost that deal. They have not been sellers since. They traded away the number 2 prospect in all of baseball. You just said it. Leo DeVries was the biggest name traded last year. DeVries?
I've always said Leo DeVries, but it could be DeVries. We're not the best
anyway
with pronunciations here on this show.
My point stands is you have failed in building up a prospect system that allows you to make a trade. Yeah, I know the Dodgers get credited for doing a great job in free agency and being able to spend more money than everybody. They also make trades because they're willing to move prospects. And this idea that, well, you can't do it because you're a small market team is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, it's...
Because guess what's the biggest trade deadline move this team has ever made?
I'm sure you have one that you're thinking.
Kurt Schilling.
Okay, that's where I thought you were going, but...
What did he do?
Yeah, no,
They won the World Series.
I hear you, but you have to have prospects to trade. And yesterday they were told that they don't have the prospects to trade. We want your high-end prospects or the guys that are contributing at the big league roster. You just don't have what we like. And that's what made it impossible to get Casey Mize. It's what made it impossible to get a deal over the line for Clay Holmes. Because once the Mets backed out of some of the medicals, they tried, according to Nick Picoro, to make the deal work with other pieces. Mets weren't interested then. So it was a certain set of prospects that made sense. And then once we got outside that little bubble, it fell apart. And so you're able to get Newbar. You kind of have to overpay for him. And that puts us in this situation. So we're going to talk about Newbar. We're going to talk about the rest of this team. I didn't get to even half of what I wanted to get to there in the open because there's just so much meat on the bone, I think, with this story. So we'll continue to talk about it as the show progresses. But I do want to hear from you today on the Diamondbacks trade deadline. How do you feel? Agree, disagree? Your thoughts? 480-864-1060. Also have you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. Producer Evan, I'm calling a little bit of an audible. I know you have the rundown in front of you. I'm not following it. When we come back, we know who the starting quarterback is for the Cardinals on Thursday. Buckle up. We'll do it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert.
Jacoby Brissett, a rework deal that's going to pay him $15.5 million this year, guaranteed. This is a fine deal for the Arizona Cardinals. There is no such thing in sports as a bad one-year deal. Jacoby Brissett is a guy that is supposed to get them through this one season, help Mike LaFleur get off to a good start, and then he's going to pass that baton. Oh, by the way, the $15.5 million comes in lower than a bunch of other starters. So among starting quarterbacks, it's either at the bottom or it's close to the bottom.
Live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
It's the BOGO Back to School sale with Zero Res. So whether you're looking to clean up before or after the barbecue, get ready for late season graduation parties, or you're getting ready for the new school year, Zero Res has you covered. Carpets, tile, hardwood, rugs, upholstery, air ducts, every surface in your home can be Zero Resified, so it's time to call the cleaning pros at Zero Res. Now, if you haven't tried Zero Res yet, or it's been months since your last deep clean, then now is the time to call. It's BOGO season. Right now, you can get your entire home Zero Resified from Phoenix's Ultimate Carpet Cleaner and get 2 rooms of carpet clean for just $129 and another 2 rooms for free. You like to check out the reviews? Well, Zero Res has a 4.9 rating on Google. So schedule your appointment at ZeroResPhoenix.com. That's ZeroResPhoenix.com, or call 480-507-2419 and ask for the KDUS special. Spell it backwards or forwards, it spells the same. Zero Res.
You're as cold as ice.
5 decades of hit songs.
Feels like the first time.
Come alive on one stage.
It's urgent.
Foreigner. Sunday, October 18th, Talking Stick Resort. Tickets on sale now at TalkingStickResort.com. All the hits on one stage. Foreigner, celebrating 50 years, live.
If you're a pro, you know you need paint and primer fast. And the Home Depot has you covered with same-day or next-day delivery so you can stay on site and on schedule. Get high-quality Behr paints and Kills primers delivered right to your job site. And with the Home Depot app, reordering is faster than ever. Just pick your paint, track your order, and get your go-to color in no time. No delays, no extra trips, just the paint and primer you need when you need it. The Home Depot. How pros get more done. Limitations may apply, not available in all markets. See store for details.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. The national outrage against the Dodgers doing what we knew they were going to do all along, trade for Tarek Skubal before the deadline, is pretty hilarious to me. As I posted on X, hey haters, what are they supposed to do? Not try their hardest to three-peat? Not take advantage of having the best farm system in the bigs? Speaking of which, stop acting like they just signed this guy to a $1 billion free agent deal. They didn't. He's a free agent at the end of the season. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts said it best. Anybody else could have done what LA did. And it's true. The Dodgers didn't give up jack to get this guy. Any number of other teams could have matched or bettered that package. So, we're going to kill LA for trying to win, but let others skate for not trying? Make that make sense. The Dodgers have nothing to apologize for, but some of you do for your horrible takes in response to them being the best organization in the game. I'm Jim Rome. And remember, you can always follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome.
O'Reilly Auto Parts gets you back to savings. Purchase any 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil and receive a free MicroGuard Select Oil Filter. Limits apply. You can also save 20% on a MicroGuard or MicroGuard Select Engine Air Filter when you purchase this Syntec Oil and Filter Special. Get details at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. I'm pediatric allergist Dr. Carla Davis. If your child has asthma, let's take a breath together and talk. Does your child need to use a quick relief inhaler more than twice a week to treat asthma? Has your child repeatedly awakened at night due to asthma? If you said yes to either of these questions, it's time to talk to an allergy and asthma specialist like me to help you control your child's asthma. If you feel your child's asthma is not under control, go to controlyourasthma.org.
Sponsored by the Allergy and Asthma Network.
The Dan Patrick Show.
The Dodgers get Tarek Skubal. I think the surprise might have been, are you giving up big-time talent to get him? Tarek Skubal had the leverage by saying he wanted to go to the Dodgers, wanted to go to the West Coast. The key will be moving forward, the kind of contract Tarek Skubal is going to want. Of course, looming large is there going to be a lockout at some point?
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
Well, if you weren't already amped up for Thursday's Hall of Fame game to have Cardinals football back in your life. I think I got another reason why you should be amped up for Thursday's Hall of Fame game. The Arizona Cardinals officially just put out on their Twitter account, Carson Beck plans as the starter for this Hall of Fame game. I think I butchered the way I should have said that. Carson Beck is the starter for Thursday's Hall of Fame game. So they are going to start Carson Beck, their third-round pick from this past year's draft, somebody that we all anticipate is going to get into action in the regular season. Towards the end, we're going to see a lot of Carson Beck, I think, at some point during the regular season. We're going to see our first glimpse in NFL football, albeit the preseason, Thursday night, as he is the starter in the Hall of Fame game. Now, I'm looking here on social media. It doesn't say what the plan is. How much is he going to play? Is it going to be a quarter? Is it going to be a half? What's the rotation like? I don't think Mike LaFleur is meeting with the media today. The coordinators are currently meeting with the media. So I think the next time we'll hear from LaFleur is later in the week. I'm sure he'll be asked now that it's been announced that Beck is the starter what the plan is. And he's a football coach. He's probably not going to lean us too much in on his plans, but I'm excited. And I think you should be. This is a draft pick that the Cardinals made that we were a little suspicious of. Not sure you invest this type of draft capital, this early draft capital in a quarterback, if it's going to be tough for him to play. So he's got to play at some point. We're going to get our first glimpse, and I don't know what I'm expecting, to be honest with all of you. I just want to see what he looks like. I want to see if he can handle the moment. You would think, considering the experience that Carson Beck has, being one of the more experienced players in today's NFL to make the jump from college to the pros. Usually a guy plays one season, one full year as a starter, and then he jumps to the pros. Carson Beck was a college starter for a really long time for a couple of different universities. So he's experienced, kind of out of that Bo Nix mold. And so you expect him to not be surprised by much, but he's still a rookie. It is a new system. It's a bunch of new teammates. Who knows who's he going to be out there with? But excited to see our first glimpse in-game action of Carson Beck.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a exciting news for if you're a Cardinals fan, because I love watching a young quarterback for my team go out there and say, hey, what do we have here? And, yeah, it's going to be one look in a preseason game, I know, and specifically the Hall of Fame game. I know it's not going to be real regular season action, but I think there's going to be a lot to learn about who Carson Beck is and maybe his few series here. And I'm excited to see that. I'm excited for him to show us what it's going to look like in an NFL offense for a guy who throughout college kind of ran a lot of different pro systems. So I'm excited to see what it is.
I see Thursday going two ways. Tell me if you agree or disagree.
Okay.
If he plays great,
it's start Carson Beck.
That conversation
correct
takes on a life of its own, and we start to do the whole, should Jacoby Brissett start? How much should he start? Is Carson Beck going to, force some tough
100%.
conversations? That's what happens if he plays great. If he plays poorly, it's, he's a rookie. It's just first game action. Give it some time. It's just the preseason. Depending on who's out there with him, he's not with the ones. He's not with all the starters. That's how this is going to go. That's what the conversation is going to be right after the game Thursday, and then probably for us on Friday, it's going to be one of those two directions. So hopefully by setting it up now, we don't overreact in one of those two directions. Because, look, I think fans are looking for something to be hopeful about. And so if Carson Beck does go out there on Thursday and look the part and look like somebody who could be a starting quarterback, I can't blame you for, jumping in that cart and wanting to just ride off into the sunset, right? I understand the optimism that would come with that. I think you got to temper it a little bit, but you're looking for something to be hopeful about. And Carson Beck going out there in a preseason game after you drafted him, looking good, this offense looking good, this offense looking like, hey, we got a good head coach, we got a quarterback in here that can run the system. These are the types of things that in a year where we don't expect there to be a lot of wins, you need to have those types of small wins that you can hang your hat on. And Carson Beck looking the part in a preseason game, I think would be one of those small wins.
And guaranteed that conversation is going to come about no matter how he plays this week. Is is Carson Beck? I also think was it a wasted pick on Carson Beck is going to be a conversation. Like, if it goes that poorly, that's going to be a conversation.
Well,
so you're going to have this vast majority or this vast variety of conversations you could get from this game, and so that makes it a little fun for everybody involved.
Am I silly for thinking? Because you said something there, and first time I had actually looked at it from this lens. I have been critical of the pick and where they took him because I don't think you use a day one or a day two pick for a dart throw. And you said a waste of a pick if he doesn't pan out. I don't think I would describe it as a waste of a pick if it doesn't pan out. I think it's a waste of a pick if they don't use this year to evaluate him. Because we know next offseason they're going to be in the quarterback game. They're going to be in there because, unfortunately, we don't think they're going to win a lot of games, and so they're going to be drafting pretty high. And so you want to know, can we use that pick on something else because we've got a quarterback in Carson Beck, or do we have to go full steam ahead on scouting QBs and taking somebody with wherever we end up in the first round? That, to me, is where the pick is a waste. If you draft Carson Beck in the third round and you give him a decent enough sample size and he fails, sure, I guess semantically I would say it's a wasted pick, but you gave him an evaluation period. You evaluated him, and the answer is he's not our guy. To me, if that's what they do here, I'm not upset about them taking Carson Beck where they took him because he went around the range where he was expected to go.
And I will tell you, I just need to see him play and have an answer. The only way I feel worse about it is if I don't have an answer at the end of the year. And then you have this conversation of, oh, are they going to take a quarterback? Oh, should they move up in the first round if they have to? Those conversations, either a no or a yes, that's where I need to be.
As an organization, after you move on from Kyler Murray, you know Jacoby Brissett's only going to be here for 1 year. You're looking for an answer, right? And so when you're looking for an answer, we say this all the time. Take a quarterback every year in the draft, right? You should always be doing this. So I'm not upset that they took Carson Beck in the draft. I think taking a QB every year is the right thing to do. But if you're going to take a QB and you're going to take a QB this high, you've got to let him play to evaluate him. So, to your point, at the end of the season, you can say definitively, we think we got something, or no, we don't have something. And so this is kind of our first glimpse into that. It's preseason. This isn't what we mean when we say we want to see him play, but it at least is going to be our first check-in on, all right, how does this look? How does this look at the NFL level? Again, preseason, it's probably a little step above from college. It's not, an NFL game in the regular season on Sundays, but it is our first glimpse, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to sitting down on Thursday and watching Carson Beck play, and then having our talking points on Friday, because we're going to have to break down Carson Beck's performance and where it goes from here. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, the Diamondbacks, they made one move yesterday. Lars Nootbaar. What does he bring to the table? We'll talk about it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Hey listeners, it's Vince DeLisio from the Varsity Sports Show. This Saturday we continue our fall sports previews by taking a drive out to the far West Valley and visit our old friends, the Buckeye Hawks. You'll meet AD Matt Roberson, football coach Pooney Ellis, among other coaches and kids, including previews from our amazing summer team. It's the Varsity Sports Show, Buckeye Hawks Week, Saturday morning at 10 on AM 1060 and the AM 1060 app, KDUS Arizona.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. I've had the privilege of seeing miracles, broken families rebuilt, every crash, every workplace injury, every medical mistake. Fighting back can work. We've gone toe-to-toe with insurance giants, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion recovered. Size matters. Reputation matters. Results matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Arizona lawyer will handle Arizona cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade 2026. Live at Chase Field, September 6th, 2026. With special guest, Jimmy Eat World. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit mychemicalromance.com.
If you're thinking you have low T, well, then it's time to start for free. For a limited time, get prescription testosterone therapy with no startup fee only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Hey, just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. Prescription testosterone restores your get up and go, so you'll feel like you're 20 again. You'll gain more muscle with less effort in the gym and lose that dad bod for good. You'll also think better, sleep better, and your love life will be better. Look, don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. So skip the gimmicks and start enjoying life with prescription testosterone. It's a game changer. Prices start as low as $129 per month. So don't wait. Book your video appointment today and they'll waive the startup fee only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial pound 250 on your phone, keyword Red Mountain. Red Mountain Weight Loss. Real testosterone. Real doctors. Real results.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane, third-generation owner at Shane Company. As a family jewelry business for almost 100 years, we are known for doing right by our customers. Our legacy of integrity depends on it. Here are 3 things we never do. We never cut corners. Our engagement rings are made to high-quality standards, and we stand behind them with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We never buy diamonds without seeing them in person. We travel to the source, eliminate the middleman, and get first pick of the most beautiful stones. Then negotiate the price on your behalf. We never try to trick you on price. We don't mark up the rings just to mark them down and call it a sale. We offer true value from the start, so you get the best price every time. At Shane Company, we put you first because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
The Jim Rome Show.
You would think the Dodgers trading for Tarek Skubal was some sort of crime against baseball. Everybody knew it was going to happen. That trade did nothing to ensure a lockout. The owners are going to lock the players out, not because of the Dodgers' spending power, but they're going to lock the players out for the same reason they always lock the players out. They want their salary cap. If they don't get the salary cap, it's going to be because the players have always sworn they will never agree to one.
1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday here on KDUS AM 1060.
So we didn't get to this in the open. We didn't really talk about the Diamondbacks edition yesterday, Lars Nootbaar. We didn't break him down. He will be joining the team. And I kind of like Lars Nootbaar as a player. I think he's a decent fit for this Diamondbacks squad. A left-handed hitting outfielder, has played all 3 outfield positions. He's played all 3 outfield positions this season, has mostly played left. And I think that's where he's going to fit in with this team. Corbin's going to be patrolling right. I think Waldschmidt / Jordan Lawler out there in center is how it's going to probably play out the remainder of the season. So Nootbaar probably profiles in as the left fielder. Perhaps they get him some games at DH. He's done that a little bit this year. And look, you're not bringing in somebody that's a power bat. You're not bringing in somebody that's, going to slug the ball all over the yard. You're not getting somebody who even hits for a high average, right? In his career, the best he has hit in a single season is 261. So not a high average guy, decently high on base guy. This is the guy you put in your lineup who works a good at bat. This is a guy that you put in your lineup that draws a walk. He's drawn 24 walks in the 48 games that he has been back from injury. That's another thing. Lars Nootbaar hasn't really played all that much. 48 games this year. He missed some time at the beginning of the season. 135 games last year, 109 the year before that, 117 the year before that, 108 in 2022, 58 games in 2021. So the most games he's played in a season is 135. So it's a guy that has missed time. So some injuries. He's not going to wow you with the bat. Most homers he's ever hit in a season is 14. But you're bringing in a guy that I think probably hits anywhere from 5th through 9th in your lineup, probably a 6 or a 7 hitter. And he's a guy that works a decent at bat. He's a guy that's going to draw walks. He's not going to chase pitches outside of the zone. He's going to help you work up an opposing pitcher's pitch count. He's going to play some decent defense out in left field. He's not a great defender. I wouldn't say he's a bad defender. I think he's an all right to good defender, has a strong arm out there in left field. And so you're just getting somebody that you can put into your lineup, that you can play every day. And I think the consistent traits that you're going to get are he's going to walk, he's not going to chase, he's going to work up a pitch count. Anything other than that, I think, is an outlier and would be, gravy. But you're bringing in somebody that you can stick into the middle to the back part of your lineup and is going to work a decent at bat. It is a lefty. We know that a lefty power bat was something that they were searching for. They didn't get a first baseman. They didn't get a DH type. They didn't get somebody who's going to be able to, slug the ball and go on a J.D. Martinez or a Yoenis Cespedes type run where he comes to a team and all of a sudden just starts crushing the ball all over the place. I don't think that's the case with Nootbaar. I think the Diamondbacks found themselves a league average outfielder, lefty bat, that's going to probably play most days for them. That's what they got yesterday.
That's exactly how I would describe it. I like Lars Nootbaar as a player.
Yeah, he's a decent player.
I think he's a mid-700 OPS guy throughout his career.
742 career OPS.
And I know it's come down a little bit in the last 2 years into the 600s. It's been a lot of health issues for Lars over the last couple of years. And if you take a 162 average, this is a guy who can hit you around 15 homers, around 240. But more than that, he gets on base and he sees pitches and he works at bats. He's a career 340 on base percentage guy, which is a huge factor into why his OPS is in the mid 700s. And let's be honest, the D-backs need a guy who's going to consistently get on base and going to consistently see, really long at bats, because last year it was Geraldo Perdomo, and we just haven't seen those same results this year.
So I'm looking at something on Lars Nootbaar's StatCast page.
Okay.
And I'm looking for the drop here that would help me, really kind of emphasize this.
I'm a huge nerd.
They have a statistic that is pitches per plate appearance. And in his career, Lars Nootbaar has averaged 4.062 pitches per plate appearance. So seeing at least 4 pitches. Now, I don't have everybody else in front of me, so let's just play a fun little game. Name me an Arizona Diamondback that plays every day.
That I think would have
No, just somebody that we're going to compare Lars Nootbaar to.
Yeah, Ketel Marte.
So Marte. I think after we do this with Ketel, I want to, because who do you think draws the most walks on the team?
I think it's probably Perdomo.
So should we look at Perdomo instead?
Yeah, let's look at Perdomo, because Perdomo's a 360 on base percentage guy.
For his career, he's been up there. Yeah, I mean, he's still got a 360 on base this year, and he's been struggling. In his career, he's at 350. So for Perdomo, I got to scroll down to the bottom here. Hold on a second. I'll find it here in a minute. Oh, where'd it go? All right, I found it. 4.214 this year for Perdomo. In his career, 4.146.
Yeah. So they're very similar in how many pitches they see.
And you asked about Ketel Marte, so I'll look up Ketel's numbers real quick if the tablet would want to cooperate. You know how this normally goes. But you're getting somebody who can work a decent at bat. And I think that's the most generous way to describe what the Diamondbacks are getting in Lars Nootbaar. I don't think he's going to wow anybody. So Marte for his career, 3.762 in pitches per plate appearance. So Nootbaar's a fine player.
Yeah,
not the bat that I think they needed to go get, but it's a lefty bat that they can put in the middle to the bottom of their lineup, and I think he's just going to help work a You know when they say this guy can work a professional AB? Lars Nootbaar is going to work a professional at bat.
Lars Nootbaar is a professional hitter. I don't think he's the best hitter ever. I don't think he knocks your socks off with this acquisition, but this is a professional hitter. It's a guy who's played on some good teams, knows what it takes to win a little. I like the addition. I think it's going to be a nice addition for the Diamondbacks. I just don't think it was enough.
No, I don't think it was enough either. That doesn't mean I'm going to root against Lars Nootbaar. I am very hopeful that he's going to be able to contribute and help this team. I just think if people are thinking that he's going to be able to walk through that door and be that missing left-handed power bat, because remember, they're going to lose Max Kepler if they get to the postseason. And we said they needed a left-handed power bat, first baseman DH type. If you're expecting that to be Lars Nootbaar just because he hits lefty and he's the only bat the Diamondbacks brought in, I just am trying to set proper expectations for you. That's not who he is going to be. Just not. Lars Nootbaar is a fine hitter. He's going to work a decent at bat, is going to play some decent outfield defense. He's going to just be another guy, another MLB vet that you're going to add to this lineup to lengthen it a little bit. That's what you're going to get. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, wrapping up hour number 1 here of the lunch break, the guy that might save the season for the Diamondbacks, it's a guy we almost gave up on. That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
You're invited to a very special evening with Boz Scaggs, live in concert. Rhythm Review Tour 2026. Boz Scaggs performing all the hits and more for one night only. Live at Mesa Arts Center, Saturday, September 26th. Boz Scaggs, live in Mesa, Arizona. Get tickets now at mesaartscenter.com.
With a Global Credit Card, you earn reward points for every purchase. Use your rewards at checkout at many of your favorite stores, or use points instead of cash when you shop online. You can even use them to book a flight up to 3 days in advance. New York, Vegas, Albuquerque. From groceries to getaways, redeem your way. Apply for your Global Credit Card now at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
Hi, I'm the VP of Play at Harrah's Auction Casino, and it's time to make your summer shine with Summer Play Fest. Now through Labor Day, live music, weekly winners, and one lucky guest takes home a brand new Jeep Rubicon. With Caesars Rewards, you could win your share of more than $700,000 in cash and prizes. Summer Play Fest at Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 or 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Visit the Caesars Rewards Center for details.
Hey basketball fans, Tom Chambers here reminding you that just like in a game, you need a solid defense for your home. And that starts with a reliable roof from Right Way Roofing. Hey Lori, as owner of Right Way Roofing, what sets you apart from the competition?
Our team tackles any roofing challenge from shingles to tile to foam roofing. We'll make sure your roof wins against the toughest opponents, rain, wind, and even those scorching summer days.
Make Right Way Roofing your MVP.
We're Right Way Roofing and we do it right. We'll always keep you watertight.
It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert.
Jacoby Brissett, a rework deal that's going to pay him $15.5 million this year, guaranteed. This is a fine deal for the Arizona Cardinals. There is no such thing in sports as a bad one-year deal. Jacoby Brissett is a guy that is supposed to get them through this one season, help Mike LaFleur get off to a good start, and then he's going to pass that baton. Oh, by the way, the $15.5 million comes in lower than a bunch of other starters. So among starting quarterbacks, it's either at the bottom or it's close to the bottom.
Live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Well, well, well. What do we have here? The Arizona Diamondbacks, I think, may have found their potential Game 2 starter in a playoff series. And his name is not Merrill Kelly. His name is not Zach Gallen. His name is Brandon Pfaadt, who last night, 6 2/3, the one run, no earned runs allowed against the San Diego Padres. And we love numbers on this program. These are the ranks for Brandon in the National League since he was recalled from AAA to join the rotation. He's first in wins with 6. He's third in ERA with a 1.55. Now, I don't have the ranks in front of me. I would guess that the 2 pitchers in the National League that are in front of him are probably Jacob Mizorowski and Christopher Sanchez. Just a guess. Maybe it's Paul Skeens.
You're saying since he's been back?
Since he's been recalled from AAA.
I mean, Christopher Sanchez had a few bad starts in there, and Miz got banged up in Los Angeles, so maybe it's not.
So maybe Brandon's pitching better than both of those guys since he was recalled from AAA. And maybe you're one of these people. Maybe you want to just rain on our parade here. And you want to say, Chris, Brandon is not a 1.55 ERA pitcher. Okay? There's going to be a regression coming. First of all, don't ruin the party for everybody else. We're having a good time. But secondly, I think you're kind of right. So how about this? How about we look at a metric that kind of takes some of the luck out of it a little bit? How about we go to FIP, which is fielding independent pitching?
I'm a huge nerd.
Takes out the defense behind you, maybe getting lucky, a more true indicator of the talent level of the pitcher, what they can control. He's third with a 2.83. So if that was his ERA, I think we'd all sign up for a 2.83 pitcher. He's 6th in WHIP with 1.03. He's first in FWAR at 1.3. And how about this? This is the stat that tells the story. His walk rate, his walk percentage is first among NL pitchers since being recalled from AAA. 3.1%. And he's been so good, he has lowered his overall season ERA from 5.92 to 3.66 in that span. Look out, everybody. Your Game 2 starter in the postseason has emerged. We saw what he did in the 2023 postseason, and he's getting hot, and he's putting together the right performances at the right time. A guy that was left out in the cold, couldn't make the rotation, got sent down to Reno, couldn't work as a reliever, went down there, worked on some things. That's not usually a pitcher-friendly environment. He has come back up, and since that recall from Reno, he has looked every bit of the pitcher that the Diamondbacks extended a little bit ago. Every bit of the pitcher that they thought they could build a rotation with him towards the top. He has been excellent. He has been so good. I was talking about this with producer Evan during the break. He is absolutely one of the 3 starters you would start in a wild card series right now. I don't want to hear about anybody else. Erod would be my Game 1 starter. Brandon Pfaadt would be my Game 2 starter. We'll figure out who the Game 3 starter is. Depending on Corbin Burns coming back, does Soroka look good coming back? Does somebody else emerge? Brandon has absolutely pitched his way into being one of the most reliable pitchers this team has right now, and he has gone from being somebody that was dismissed, not an answer, can't help this rotation, to now potentially being this rotation's savior, because they have been searching and looking for 3 guys that can get them through the rest of the season. He has emerged as one of them.
And on top of all of the success he's had recently, he might be their most successful postseason pitcher.
Right, that's the other thing too.
Like, he's 5 starts. He posted a 3.27 ERA in those 5 starts. He was a huge part in why they went to the World Series in 23. I mean, he completely turned around the NLCS. He's a huge part of how they got there. So, I'm sorry. He's maybe your most successful postseason pitcher. I know it's only 1 appearance, but he was that good. He has been that good since getting back his rotation spot. And what else does he have to show you?
I'd like to see some more swing and miss. I'd like to see some strikeouts, right? He only had 3 of them last night. He only got 8 whiffs. 26%. How about this for you? You ready for this?
I'm a huge nerd.
Are you familiar, Producer Evan, with the CSW percentage number? Are you familiar with this?
I'm a huge nerd. I don't think I am.
Called strikes plus whiffs. So how often are we filling up the strike zone and we're getting called strikes and we're getting swing and miss? So that is a very it's just one way to look at the overall stuff a pitcher has.
Got it.
Are you getting the swing and miss? Are you getting those called strikes? Do you have that nastiness that is setting you up to strike guys out? It's only 26%. It's not that great of a number in the grand scheme of things. So you asked what I want to see a little more of. I'd love to see a little more swing and miss. But I'll tell you, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's been excellent. Pitching to contact, letting him put the ball in play. He's got good defenders behind him. They're making plays, and the results are the results. I think the overall stuff probably keeps him from being a number one or a number two, but this is a guy right now in this season, as we sit here on August 4th, how is he not one of your three best pitchers come playoff time? Looking at the roster the way that it is right now, unknowns with Soroka and Nelson and Burns, Kelly. The month flipped over, and we are getting the bad version of Merrill Kelly again. This is the guy right now that is probably this team's second best pitcher. This is a guy that would start one of your three playoff games. If the playoffs were today and you had to submit your three starters, he is absolutely one of your three starters.
Without a doubt.
No question he's one of the three that I trust. Now, it's a small sample, and if he did turn into a pumpkin in the playoffs, I can't say that I would be ultimately surprised by that. But right now, with the state of this rotation, you didn't go out and get any help. You got three guys coming off of injury. Who knows what they're going to be able to give you. But right now, if I had to set up a playoff rotation, you bet Brendan Pfaadt would be in it.
He would have to be. He would have to be. He has been a huge reason, maybe the biggest part in you getting into a postseason spot as it sits right now. This is a guy who has single-handedly been the reason for this rotation to get back on track, to turn it back around, because it's been multiple times this year where this rotation hasn't had it and needed to kind of have that reset. We talked about the Torrey meeting early in the year. Then they lost it again, and they kind of turned to Brandon Pfaadt this time around, and he's answered that call. So this guy has been a huge reason that they have been able to turn this rotation around and start to win some baseball games. And they're going to need him the rest of the way. Because if this doesn't continue, and not that it needs to continue at a 1.55 ERA clip, but let's say he does, kind of tail off and not be the Brandon Pfaadt they need him to be, this rotation's going to struggle again.
And by the way, can we talk about who these starts are coming against? Padres, Dodgers, Cardinals, Pirates, Padres. A lot of playoff teams in there. Outside of the Cardinals, who at the time were a playoff team, at a time a team that you had to go out there and beat. I know they turned into a seller and they moved on at the deadline, but those were big starts in the moment. Those were games you circled, and he stepped up and he delivered.
Those were, games we were calling, maybe must-wins.
And he showed up in them. So it doesn't matter the opponent. He has delivered for this team since being recalled from Reno. Are you ready? It's back. The NFL News Dump in hour number 2 of the program. More on the Cardinals, but we start with buy or sell. We'll do it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
This is Michael with Restore My Civil Rights. For many listeners, a criminal record can feel permanent. Thankfully, Arizona law allows convictions to be set aside and civil rights, including Second Amendment rights, to be restored. For the hundreds of listeners we have assisted to date, the results have been life-changing. If you're ready to find out what's possible for yourself or a loved one, we can help. To book a free consultation today, call 855-GUN-RIGHTS or visit RestoreMyCivilRights.com. That's RestoreMyCivilRights.com.
The Gorillas, live in Phoenix. The Mountain Tour 2026. Performing at Mortgage Matchup Center, Friday, October 23rd. With special guests, Little Sims and Deltron 3030. Get ready to feel good all over again. The new album, The Mountain, is out now. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Hey, it's Phil Shaver with HomeSmart, and I want to buy your house. I'm a local investor that buys homes for cash all over Maricopa and Pinell County. I buy inherited homes, nice homes, rental homes, homes that are behind on mortgage payments, and I even buy ugly homes that need fixing. Also, are you looking to get closer to market value for your house? As a licensed realtor, I've been able to buy and sell thousands of homes. Since I'm local, you can call me directly on my cell phone, 480-409-9999. Again, that's 480-409-9999. I don't work for a big corporation or hedge fund, so I can only buy 3 to 5 homes per month. There are no fees involved, and you can pick your own close date. The best part is I buy homes as is, so you don't have to worry about doing any repairs. Again, you can call me directly at 480-409-9999, or you can go to my website, gosoldaz.com. That's gosoldaz.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane, third-generation owner at Shane Company. As a family jeweler for almost 100 years, we're known for doing right by our customers. Our legacy of integrity depends on it. We stand behind our engagement rings with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds, then negotiate for the best price. At Shane Company, we put you first because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
For 25 years, Primavera has helped thousands of Arizona students succeed with an accredited world-class education, tuition-free and from home. Don't wait. Enroll today at chooseprimavera.com. That's chooseprimavera.com.
The KDUS AM 1060 app is brought to you by Law Bear Auto Accident Attorneys. Hurry to lawbear.com.
That's lawbear.com. The bear has your back.
Hour number 2. Tuesday edition here of the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. It's back to being the producer Evan hour on a Tuesday. We have returned home. We are back in our comfortable place.
Welcome back, everybody.
And we start with a little buy or sell here on a Tuesday.
The only way we know how to start hour number 2.
On a Tuesday, really any day of the week, buy or sell. Hottest sports takes in the Valley. Producer Evan puts them together. I react to them. Please take it away, my friend.
Yesterday's trade deadline was the worst moment I can remember in Mike Hazen's general manager career.
Sure, I'll buy the spirit of the take. It was not a good day yesterday for Mike Hazen. And I appreciate the passion that he showed. I appreciate the frustration that he echoed. But I don't think that excuses. He's the reason that they couldn't make the moves yesterday. The state of the farm system stopped their ability from improving yesterday. If we are to believe that teams were only asking about, Waldschmidt and Juan Murillo and Brandon Garcia and, other prospects, medicals got vetoed in the case of a rumored Clay Holmes trade, which is interesting because Clay Holmes is owed a decent amount of money, but they clearly felt comfortable with bringing in Clay.
It's interesting that first report about the $7 to $8 million deal, Clay Holmes would have eclipsed that, I believe.
I think Clay's making like 12.5 this year.
Okay, maybe not.
So you're probably looking $4 or $5 million.
And Newbar is not a one-year rental. They have him through next year.
I mean, I said what I said about Lars earlier. I think he's a fine player. I don't think he's what this team was sorely lacking at the deadline.
Neither do I. I think in a perfect world, we would have wanted a more offensive-minded bat that could, DH, play first base.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Jorge Soler's coming. Don't you worry.
Jorge Soler will be a Diamondback, which will get us into our next buy or sell. Jorge Soler will be a Diamondback this week.
I don't think so. I will tell you that I've seen a lot of people. And by the way, Clay Holmes is making $13 million this year, so you cut that in half, you're looking at $6.5 million. Cut it down a little more. Yeah, you're probably talking about $3.25, $4 million. Probably still owed to Clay for the remainder of the season, maybe a little less. So it was a decent amount of money. Jorge Soler was DFA'd by the Angels. And I've seen a lot of people rush to social media. Ah, Mike Hazen, go get him. Where does he play?
Yeah, you would have to DH for this team.
You would have to DH him. You'd be locking yourself into DHing him. There's a reason he got DFA'd by the Angels.
It's been hard to watch for him this year. It's been bad.
Okay, without knowing this, do you think he's hitting above 220?
I think he's hitting below 220.
So if I set the line at 220, you're taking the under.
I would take somewhere around the 205 mark.
Wow. That's why you're the producer of the program. He's hitting 203. 203 with a 291 on base percentage, a 373 slugging. He's hit 12 homers in 86 games. WRC plus of 85. So a below league average hitter this season. And he is 2 years removed from what was a really good year in 2024, where he hit 21 homers and was a 120 WRC plus.
Remember when he hit 48 homers?
That is, he did that for the Royals, I believe.
Yeah, what was that, 2019?
2019.
Did he technically win with the Cubs in 16? Yeah.
I mean, let me do the thing that usually happens when somebody gets DFA'd. I look up their StatCast page, and then there's usually something that pops out, and I go, ooh, maybe you take a chance on that. So do you think there's going to be something that I like when
Yes. Jorge Soler is one of the StatCast merchant guys.
Not this year, he's not. The only thing that you like...
Hard hit rate.
No, not even that. It's only 59th percentile. He's got a fast bat.
He's got a fast bat. He barrels.
83rd percentile bat speed, so he just swings hard. But strikes out a ton.
He actually doesn't chase a lot, though.
Yeah, but he still strikes out a ton, so that means he's staring at a lot of pitches.
He whiffs at 36.9%.
He can't run. He can't field. So he's a DH, and he's a DH that... He has a 664 OPS this year. I mean, 2 years ago in 2024, he has 780 OPS. If that was the player I was getting, fine, but...
You were getting a 240 hitter with 21 homers. It's a very different conversation.
Yeah, but
than
that...
a 203 hitter with 12.
Sure, but that player's not getting DFA'd. That player's getting moved yesterday at the deadline,
Correct.
right? So there's a reason why he's getting DFA'd.
Correct.
I think they probably pick up the phone and see, but...
I think so too.
I think there's a conversation in a room where they're like, Jorge Soler, and then they make a decision.
I think they pick up the phone, and we'll see. They're going to have that conversation today. Lars Nootbaar will be an everyday player through the rest of the year.
Lars Nootbaar.
Like, I'm not saying play every game, but, you know, maybe he gets a day off here and there. But
nobody plays every day anymore. You know?
Yeah, correct.
So we don't live in that world anymore. Jordan Lawler's going to come back at some point, hopefully. Let me look at this real quick. If Lawler comes back, are you going to send down Barrosa or are you going to send down Waldy? Because you're going to need a fourth outfield. No, he's an everyday player.
That's what I tend to believe as well.
I mean, he's a lefty bat, so just in general, he's going to play...
They need lefties.
Well, just think about it from this perspective. More often than not, you face a righty pitcher, right? Just from just pure mathematics, there's more righties than there are lefties.
Certainly.
So he's going to play against all the righties always. I could see Torrey playing the platoon game. I don't know Nootbaar's career splits or his splits this year against lefties. But usually, you kind of look for the platoon, the left on left, as your justification for when you're sitting somebody down. So how often are you going to get that? He's not great against lefties. He's hitting 133 against them this year. What are his career splits against lefties? 230 against lefties, 245 against righties. So you could maybe use that as a justification to get somebody else in there, but. You got Barroso, who's a switch hitter. It'll just depend on who they want to keep as their fourth outfielder. If they keep Waldy, maybe they platoon. But I just don't know if you want to do that to Waldschmidt and not have him getting regular ABs every single day, or at least most days.
Yeah, interesting thing, too, is, Max Kepler has played in 27 games since they picked him up. You imagine those are all Nootbaar starts now.
Well, Kepler can still DH.
That's true.
Because I think Newbar's going to play mostly the outfield because he's a decent enough defender to where I think he helps you out there.
But Max has not been good.
Well, the problem with Max is you're going to lose that roster spot in the playoffs. So somebody's going to have to...
So by September 1, you almost have to fill.
Somebody's going to have to DH every day, and maybe that's where Waldschmidt comes in and you platoon him. I don't know. But Newbar, yes. Newbar
But
plays
you
every
could
day.
use Lawler, Waldschmidt, and or Newbar in that spot.
In the DH spot?
Yes.
Yeah, you can use those three players.
So, in some kind of
configuration.
Yeah. That's my thought.
Between left, center, and DH, those three guys can play pretty much every day. Yeah.
Corbin Burns would start Game 3 if they get to the playoffs.
I think right now, and I'm assuming a lot when I say this, because I just don't know what version of Corbin Burns are we going to get, right? You just, honestly, you have no idea what he's going to look like. You just don't. Rehab starts, can't tell a story. We just don't know.
It could look really good at first and then tail off. It could look really bad and then, ramp up.
So here's what I am saying by hitting this button is I am just looking at the career that Corbin Burns has had, and I'm telling myself that even if he's not 100%, which he won't be, 75 to 85% of Corbin Burns is good enough to be the third best pitcher on the Diamondbacks. That's what I'm saying to you today.
That is exactly how I would put it. And this is a guy who knows how to pitch. Right? Like he's not...
And that's what I'm betting on, right?
He's not a flamethrower. He never really has been. He's a pitcher.
And that's what I'm betting on.
I think that's the only thing to bet on.
So I think he would be the Game 3 starter or one of the three starters right now, but I reserve the right to change my mind depending on how he looks coming back.
I think that's fair.
By the way, if he comes back.
Yeah, this is a huge if. And let me Google it here. What day do you need to be on the 40-man?
I think it's September 1st, but if you're I think there's rules on injury replacements. There's always you can get an exemption from Major League Baseball to put somebody on the roster.
Noon Eastern on September 1st.
So that's the deadline that we're paying attention to.
Must be on the 40-man or 60-day injured list.
Okay, so he's good because he's on the 60-day injured list.
Yes.
On September 1st, they have to be in one of those two areas?
40-man or the 60-man.
So they don't have to rush him.
You can't be on the 10 or the 15-day. You have to be on the 60-day.
He's on the 60-day because they've needed the roster spot all year on the 40-man. So they're fine. They don't need to rush him. In some cases, you need to have a guy on the active roster by September 1st because of where he is on your injured list and roster and all that stuff, if he's in the minors, all those different rules. So he's fine. He'll be eligible for their postseason roster, so you don't have to rush him in that regard. But I think you want to see as many starts from him as possible before Torrey's got to make a decision on who he wants to. If this team makes the postseason and they're playing in a 3-game series, right now they're holding on to that second spot, so it would be in Chicago against the Cubs. Which 3 guys do you want to go to battle with? Which 3 guys do you want to go to war with in that 3-game series against the Cubs? Because let me tell you, on the other side, you're going to get Shota Imanaga, you're going to get Kevin Gausman, you're probably going to get Clay Holmes. Like, those are the 3 pitchers you're getting on the other side. You got to match up with those 3. How are you going to do it?
I think, man, it's not great. But I have faith in Corbin Burns. I really do, just because of the player he has been.
Got Matthew Boyd as well. Boy, the Cubs would be a tough matchup pitching-wise.
The Cubs,
they were busy yesterday.
Well, I'll give it to you. The Cubs won the Major League Baseball trade deadline.
The Cubs won the trade deadline. So is there somebody else that I think had a better deadline? Well, no, I think the Cubs won the deadline. I think they did a good job. Do I think they're the big winner? I don't think so. Let me walk through this.
I think the big winner is probably the Dodgers.
Well, they got Skubal. So
then the Cubs I look at as a winner. We'll see what I think the Padres are a little deep, but the Padres look like a winner. I like what the Guardians did.
Oh, really good shout by you. Joe Adell is a really good pickup for them. Foster Griffin is a really good pickup for them to add to their rotation. They're not getting talked about enough. Can I tell you the team that you really need to be talking
Nathaniel,
about?
Lowe as well.
I think it's Nathaniel Lau.
We've done this. It's not.
And I know, and what I'm saying is I know we've done this. I think we're wrong again.
It's Brandon Lau. The other two are brothers. Josh Lowe and Nathaniel Lowe.
So I'm going to derail us now. I'm going to go to Baseball Reference and I'm going to see what it says. It says Lowe. Very good. All right. You say this. Because you know what? I heard Nathaniel Lau on, I think it was MLB Network last night. And that was what made me go, oh, here we go again. We screwed this up. Can I tell you the sneaky team that you should put some respect on their name?
Okay.
Tampa Bay Rays.
Tampa Bay Rays, I thought, had a great deadline.
Liam Hicks is a great addition for
Liam
them.
Hicks is a great addition. I thought they did some really nice stuff in the pitching staff as well. Listen, if there's any team in baseball that you think could bring in Freddie Peralta and fix it really quick, it's the Rays.
Or the Brewers.
Or the Brewers. So you just feel pretty good about him going there. And obviously Freddie Peralta used to be a Brewer, so.
They added Tyler Wells in their bullpen. They added Freddie Peralta to their rotation. And then they acquired Liam Hicks to be their starting catcher.
It's interesting. I thought the Yankees really missed out because I had heard they were looking for catching help. Looking at Liam Hicks and Adley Rutschman, you let both of them go to division rivals.
Yeah. And you didn't get involved. So everybody around you in that division got better in an area that you were clearly trying to upgrade. So you either didn't call those teams about those players, which I find hard to believe. You didn't like the price tag.
Yeah, it still feels like the Yankees are going to be in an interesting spot going into a playoff series. You know, whether it's Caballero, McMahon, and Wells, like, I just don't trust those three. Feel like free outs at times.
Yeah, and they're going to have to work through it. And they're going to get Judge back hopefully at some point. They're going to get Stanton back, Bellinger back.
But with that being said, I thought the Cubs did a nice job.
Yeah, Cubs did a nice job.
Kevin Gausman, Ryan Zefferjon. So
Yeah.
those are some big ones there.
They did a good job.
Carson Beck will play a half or more
I don't
in
know.
Thursday's game.
You know what? No, I'm not buying or selling. I'm in protest.
It'll cost you a couple dollars a day on layaway.
No, I'm protesting this. I don't know. Can I hear from the coach, please?
It's not allowed. Not the spirit of the take.
All right, he's gonna play a half. He'll probably play a quarter, and then I'll look like an idiot. But
do you want him to play a half?
I want him to play as much as humanly possible.
I think that's fair.
He is. If you don't let me put it this way. If you don't want to play Jacoby Brissett and Gardner Minshew because they're your 1-2 going into the season, right? You've got Carson Beck, you got Keaton Slovis, right?
Correct.
Those two guys can get you through 4 preseason games.
100%.
You can mix in a Brissett series in the last preseason game if you want, and we'll be fine, right? So if it's me, the first preseason game, I'm playing earlier than everybody else is. I just drafted a quarterback in the 3rd round. Yeah, you know what? Carson Beck, you're playing the whole game.
I would love that. Let him go out there and let him feel through it.
They're not going to do that.
Not at all.
But that's what I would do. You've got 4 quarterbacks on your roster. It kind of lends you. And listen, if you want to play him a half and then let Keaton Slovis play in the second half, I think that's fine. But he doesn't need to just play a quarter. Let him play. Let him play. Give him the reps.
Last one for you. We will get. What?
No, I'm selling it before you've even said it. No, go ahead.
We will get a real feel for Mike LaFleur's offense in preseason.
In preseason?
Correct.
I think we'll get a vague feel for it.
Yeah, when I feel, you're not going to see things they're going to run in the season. But you're going to have a feel of maybe the run pass they're going to go with. Like
the splits and
the
stuff.
Splits and stuff like that.
The other part of it, too, is, Trey Benson is a little banged up. They're not sure if he's going to be able to play on Thursday in the Hall of Fame game, so they're picking up running backs just to have bodies on the roster. So it's like, if that's who Carson Beck's playing with, am I going to take...
How much weight can you put into it?
Right. Am I going to be like, oh, this offense stinks because of it? Like, that feels
But
a
I
little...
think you could see, run concepts. Like, obviously you're not going to see their most advanced run play. But are they going to focus up more on zone schemes? Or is it going to be kind of a gap scheme? Are you going to see a 60%, run play option? Is it going to be 40, 50% is through the air? Like, I want to see that and get a feel for how's he going to call this on 3rd and 4th downs, maybe.
From that perspective, I agree with you, yes.
That's all I got for you.
There you have it. And now, it's the best tease of the day. It's been a while. When we come back, it's a Tuesday during the NFL season, which means one thing and one thing only. The NFL news dump is next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Somber presents You Are the Reason Tour. Fresh from selling out shows all around the world. See Somber live in Glendale. Desert Diamond Arena, October 14th, with special guests Tom Odell and The Help. Get tickets now at sombermusic.com.
Winning once, that's a good season. But building a streak, that takes showing up. Every call, every claim, every day. AAA Auto Insurance is ranked #1 for auto insurance customer satisfaction in the Southwest by J.D. Power, 2 years in a row. And we don't take this repeat for granted, because trust isn't given, it's earned. Join the millions of satisfied drivers who choose AAA Auto Insurance. Get a quote at AAA.com/quote. For J.D. Power 2025 award information, visit JDPower.com/awards.
America First Credit Union has everything you need to get your money working. And for a limited time, new members get a $150 cash bonus for opening a checking account and $200 more for enrolling in and using direct deposit. If you're ready to do more with your money and get up to $350 cash, head to AmericaFirst.com and become a member today. Subject to membership eligibility, terms, creditworthiness, change, and conditions. Additional requirements may apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
Your dental health affects your whole body's wellness. Got a broken tooth or need a crown? At Arizona Crown Center, you can expect care focused on crowns and bridges for just $6.99 per tooth, including your x-ray. That's less than half the usual cost. With Arizona Crown Center, expect top quality, efficient treatment backed by a 3-year unconditional guarantee, and even same-day service. They keep it simple and affordable, so you can enjoy the foods you love without worry. Plus, their friendly team makes every visit comfortable and easy. Whether it's your first crown or replacing an old one, they personalize your care to fit you. That's something to really smile about. Don't live with discomfort. Visit azcrowncenter.com for your free consultation today. Serving the Valley for over 20 years with offices in Chandler, Surprise, and Prescott. Get premium dental crowns and bridges at a price that fits your budget. azcrowncenter.com. That's azcrowncenter.com. Your smile's best friend.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. For once, college football chose common sense over convenience. After what will be a lengthy hiatus, the Notre Dame-USC rivalry officially set to return in 2030. That's a victory for us. The last few years, you don't have these historic matchups. That's in the name of realignment. The timing is just as interesting as the decision itself. With the expanded college football playoff, the value of scheduling marquee non-conference games late in the season has diminished. Big programs no longer needed to load their resume in order to have a shot at the title. But moving games like Notre Dame and USC to the front half of the schedule allows both programs to get the best of both worlds. It's a subtle but important shift in scheduling philosophy. Elite programs no longer have to fear scheduling another heavyweight. If anything, the expanded playoff gives them a reason to stay away from challenging games late in the year. Notre Dame, USC, welcome back. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. These days, everybody's searching for ways to save on insurance. Scrolling comparison sites, digging through tips, chasing deals. But Liberty Mutual makes it simple. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance to save you money. And when you bundle, those savings really start to come through. It's insurance built for real people with a team that helps you keep what matters most, money. No hassle, just confidence that your coverage is customized with savings in mind. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent. High-quality meat, unbeatable freshness, and family-style commitment to care. It's the Heartland difference. Heartland Steak Co. is your source for premium Midwestern meats delivered right to your door, including hand-cut selections of USDA prime and choice beef. Go to heartlandsteakco.com. Now through August 5th, 2 free 4-count packages of premium steak burgers, orders over $149.99. Promo code BURGERS. Taste the Heartland difference, Heartland Steak.
Hey listeners, it's Vince DeLisio from the Varsity Sports Show. This Saturday we continue our fall sports previews by taking a drive out to the far West Valley and visit our old friends, the Buckeye Hawks. You'll meet AD Matt Roberson, football coach Pooney Ellis, among other coaches and kids, including previews from our amazing summer team. It's the Varsity Sports Show, Buckeye Hawks Week, Saturday morning at 10 on AM 1060 and the AM 1060 app, KDUS Arizona.
Producer Evan, are you ready? Are you ready for it? It has been far too long since we have done the following. It is a Tuesday. The Cardinals play football in 2 days, so we are making this the official return of the NFL News Dump. Oh, it just hits, man. It feels good. You feel good when that music is back in your life. With that being said, with all of your top stories in the world of football on a Tuesday, the host of the NFL News Dump, the compiler of the NFL News Dump, Producer Evan.
He's back!
That's right!
That was Klay Thompson's intro when he came back for the Warriors.
That's right. The News Dump is back.
Welcome back, everybody.
Just get comfortable.
That music is glorious.
Nice
the
job.
air a little crisper.
That's right.
The world of football back in our lives.
Let's go.
And it starts in Atlanta with Bijan Robinson reaching a 3-year extension worth up to $75 million. Move over, Jeremiah Love.
No, see, it's funny that you say this. Jeremiah Love, still more guaranteed money than Bijan Robinson. As part of this deal, it is $51 million guaranteed for Bijan. $2 million less than the guaranteed money on the 4-year rookie deal for Jeremiah Love.
But it is a 3-year worth up to $75 million deal for the Falcons running back.
Speaking of the Falcons, Jalen Walker, they brought out the cart for him at
I saw that.
camp today. We don't have an update on what's going on there, but that obviously not good for the Falcons. You know what? Good to get this done. Bijan's a special player. The deal is really well structured, I think, for Atlanta. Bijan gets his money, gets a lot of guarantees. But the Falcons don't commit themselves too long term. They lock up Bijan. I think it's one of those deals that's a win-win for everybody. I'll tell you this, though. You know what I thought of when I saw this deal today?
What is Gibbs going to get?
Well, okay. Part one, what is Gibbs going to get? But part two, what does Jeremiah Love's next contract look like?
Yeah, it's a great point.
If this dude is for real, which I think he is, he's going to make a lot of money in a short amount of time. Because he's going to make the $53 million fully guaranteed on this deal. And at the rate that these running backs are going up and up and up, and if he is in that Gibbs mold like everybody tells us he is, you're talking probably another 55, 60, 65 million guaranteed in another 3 years. 110 million guaranteed for a running back. This is going to be insane. Good, and good for him. Like. I'm not saying that in a bad way.
Yeah,
good.
Congrats. It's awesome.
Yes. But that is where he is... That's what he's on pace to do, if he can back it up with some really good play.
Speaking of big-time contracts, a little bit of a surprising one today. Zay Flowers agrees to a 4-year, $140 million extension with the Baltimore Ravens.
This is a really good player. This is a dynamic receiver that
is a difference maker in an offense that for the longest time was searching for exactly the skill set that he has. Get the ball into Zay Flowers' hands. Watch him cook. Just get it to him. Get out of the way. That's the type of player that you want with Lamar Jackson. That's the type of player that you want as part of a three-headed monster with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson in an offense. So pay him, lock him up long-term. I've seen all of the comments on social media. Everybody now worried what this means for Michael Wilson and a potential extension with the Cardinals. Don't you worry. We're going to talk about that next.
I also think that this is one of those things that the Ravens have been searching for a receiver for a long time. A long time. This is a deal that guarantees them their receiver, and then you can try and fill that number 2 spot that really they've been also looking for a long time. I want to go through some of the hold-ins, just so everybody has a hold-in, hold-out through camp. So we have 3 big ones going on today. The first one being Jahmyr Gibbs. Obviously talked about it with the Bijan Robinson contract. We know what this is going to look like, the numbers it may be around. But currently, Jahmyr Gibbs holding in. He's at practice, not participating, looking for a new contract.
0 out of 10 worry for this. Like, the Lions have done a good job of paying their guys. They'll get this done. 0 out of 10 worry.
They take care of their guys.
Yeah, 0 out of 10 worry on Jahmyr Gibbs.
That's a 0 out of 10. I am assuming this next one will ramp it up a little bit. Vita Vea, the defensive tackle in Tampa, obviously holding in, has requested the trade, so he's taking that next step.
4.75 out of 10 on the concern level. Still think Vita Vea plays week 1 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, despite me joking that he's going to the Rams in LA. I tend to think he stays in Tampa. Usually these things work themselves out.
Last of our bigger names holding in today, Tuli Tuipulotu.
Okay, that was close enough.
I'll never know how to say it.
Yeah, it was close enough.
Holding in, seeking a new contract, hasn't taken that step to request a trade or anything, but certainly looking for a new deal, not working with the team in practice, but is doing workouts on the side.
A 2.25 out of 10. In between Jahmyr Gibbs and Vita Vea.
I think that's fair. The Chargers just feel like a team that could mess it up just because they're the Chargers.
They're well run now, okay? I mean, we got Harbaugh in charge. We'll be fine.
That's fair. Saints wide receiver Jalen Polk, age 24, has officially retired from the NFL.
Yeah, always unfortunate to see these stories. Could never really stick with a roster. Injuries, right, as well. And now he's stepping away.
Bears safety Kobe Bryant will be out 8 to 10 weeks with his new injury.
I don't want to overreact to injuries in preseason because there's just so much time before we get into the meat of October and November, and injuries can really derail your season. But a tough blow.
Certainly. Last story for you. It is a return back for Jadeveon Clowney. He reaches a deal to reunite with with the team that drafted him, the Houston Texans.
This is a cool story.
Yeah, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Bust is too big of a word.
No, he's not a bust.
But a disappointment.
Disappointment, I think, is too strong, too.
He's never had a double-digit sack season.
He's been a very good player. He's also made a lot of money from a lot of different teams. So you can't say he's been a disappointment. A bunch of teams have wanted his services.
The three-time Pro Bowler. He was an All-Pro second team in 2016.
Yeah, I mean, that's not... He's not a scrub.
No.
He's not a nobody. It's a decent
Three-time
career.
Pro Bowler, all in his first 5 years with Houston. I still think he has... Yeah, his best year is 2017, which is maybe the year after the All-Pro second team year. Interesting.
By the way, I'm reading on social media that the Falcons immediately ended practice after Jalen Walker's injury.
Really?
Which is not.
It's not great.
That's not great.
No.
When I hear that, you know what what image pops into my head? An image of, and again, we haven't seen anything of what happened, but an injury so gruesome that everybody's around him when he leaves the field, and a coaching staff that just looks at everybody and goes, we can't continue because mentally these guys aren't in it anymore.
I'll tell you the one I thought of.
It was that bad.
What are you thinking of?
No. I just mean in general. Like that's I'm envisioning the scenario that leads to practice being ended, and it's not good.
When Teddy Bridgewater's knee, that's what I'm thinking of.
I mean, we'll see what the reports are because we don't have anything other than he left on a cart, and now that they ended practice early after the injury.
That's all I got for you.
There you have it. The first NFL news dump for the 2026-27 season. It is back, and it will be here every Tuesday between now and when did we end it? A little after the draft in end of April, May?
Yeah, it was the week after the draft, so it would have been that first week of May.
So every Tuesday, the latest NFL news here on the NFL News Dump on the program. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, are the Cardinals just going to let it play out with Michael Wilson? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
The Jim Rome Show.
You would think the Dodgers trading for Tarek Skubal was some sort of crime against baseball. Everybody knew it was going to happen. That trade did nothing to ensure a lockout. The owners are going to lock the players out, not because of the Dodgers' spending power, but they're going to lock the players out for the same reason they always lock the players out. They want their salary cap. If they don't get the salary cap, it's going to be because the players have always sworn they will never agree to one.
1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday here on KDUS AM 1060.
Chicago Sticks, the Windy Cities Tour. Finally, 2 iconic bands together for the first time. September 1st, Mortgage Matchup Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Chicago and Sticks. All the hits. Your kind of tour.
If you're a fan of any sport on the planet, college or pro, then we are right where you want to be. Real sports fans need a sports book powered by Hard Rock Bet. Follow the money line to Twin Arrows and too much fun. Twin Arrows. The best indoor tailgate party in Flagstaff with massive HD screens, cold drinks, game time food specials, and best service is at Arrows Sports Bar. After the game, get back in the game at craps, blackjack, and slots. Now that's too much fun. The place to come when you want to have too much fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
It's Halloween time at the Disneyland Resort, and Minnie's begun to brew up delights and spine-tingling fun. The cauldron bubbling with mystical flair, summoning spirits that haunt the air. Watch as a giant Mickey pumpkin, a headless horseman, and Happy Haunts have a ball. Cars Land becomes Radiator Screams. Plus, there are seasonal favorites like Guardians of the Galaxy, Monsters After Dark, and Haunted Mansion Holiday. With tricks and treats at every corner to be seen. Frightful fun for the whole family at the happiest Halloween. Halloween time, August 21st through October 31st. Visit Disneyland.com or contact your travel advisor for important details.
Orthopedic care. At Abrazo Health, we believe these two words are better together. When joint pain postpones a walk with friends or halts a weekend hike, recruit our orthopedic physicians, surgeons, and physical therapists to join your team. From our minimally invasive advanced technology designed to improve patient outcome to our comprehensive rehabilitation program, start your journey to a pain-free life. Find your partner in care at abrazohealth.com/orthopedics.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
We were talking about Zay Flowers getting a new contract from the Baltimore Ravens in the last segment, the NFL News Dump. And a lot of people in Cardinals land looking at that and wondering, where is the Michael Wilson extension? Because the price now just keeps going up and up and up, right? If you don't set the market, you're going to have to reset the market, right? If you aren't first, you're then going to cost yourself a little more money. It's going to be more expensive to get one of these contracts done. That's how it is in every position, right? If you've got a quarterback that you need to pay and another team has a franchise quarterback that they need to pay, it's beneficial for you to go first. It's beneficial for you to try to get the deal done so that you don't have to beat the new high mark, that you can come in at the current high mark and not have to add more money on top of the deal. And so it's Zay Flowers getting his deal with the Ravens. Does this mean that Michael Wilson now it's going to cost him more? And are the Cardinals just comfortable riding this out for another season? Those are the questions that I think a lot of people have today after seeing Flowers get his deal in Baltimore. And I think this is going to be unpopular. I don't mind the Cardinals waiting this out. I think the Cardinals diving headfirst into a contract extension for Michael Wilson after really just one good season, or as producer Evan reminds me every time we have a Michael Wilson conversation, 8 good games, I think is setting yourself up to have a little buyer's remorse. And I think if presented with these two options, option one, I can pay Michael Wilson now the going rate for a wide receiver and have some buyer's remorse and maybe feel like I overpaid him, or wait to see if there's another follow-up season, to see if with a full season of Brissett in a brand new offense with a new head coach, with a new coordinator, with a different system, if those results can continue so that I have a larger sample size to justify the large extension that I'm going to give out and perhaps pay a little more in the future than the deal that I would get now, I'm going to take waiting it out. Usually I don't advocate for that. I just said you don't want to wait because you don't want to have to reset the market. But we're talking about 8 games here. We're talking about a really small sample size to pay top end of the market money, or at least close to top end of the market money for a wide receiver. Now, if I got a notification right now that Michael Wilson had signed an extension, I wouldn't be upset about it. Michael Wilson had a good year last year. Locking a player like that up long-term makes sense. I understand from a roster-building perspective, wanting to have as much talent under control, under contract, so that you can forecast out into the future and know what your money situation looks like, to know where you're at draft pick-wise, to know where you're at in your search for a franchise quarterback, to know what you have on the roster, what you don't have on the roster, locking in certain needs, would have zero issue with that. But if those are the two paths, you can pay him now and maybe feel a little buyer's remorse. And maybe you pay him now and he balls out and you feel like you got a bargain. That's another way too. That's another path that it can go down. I'm okay with them waiting this out, and I think they feel as if they just want to see a little more. And I wonder if Michael Wilson is an in-season extension candidate, producer Evan. I wonder if instead of waiting until the end of next season, if he gets off to a really good start, if the first 2 months of the year is just a continuation of where things left off for Michael Wilson, if they say, you know what, Halloween, Thanksgiving, new contract, Michael Wilson, let's not even get this into the offseason.
That's exactly where my head was at, is if I could get through like middle of October and I'm looking at Michael Wilson in a receiving category where I feel as if he's a top 20 receiver in football, a clear number one, or a really good number two, then I'm going to try and get this deal done. Yeah, it's 8 games, but if I could get to a point where maybe it's 14 games, maybe it is over the course of 17, and I can get into week 10. I want to get this done as soon as possible. I don't know if I can do this right now, knowing that it was a much shorter sample size than a full season. It was a much smaller sample size than multiple years. Okay, but if it starts to ramp up early in the year and I see that same level of production, I'm going to want to get this done as soon as possible.
Yeah, if the sample size grows, doing it in 2 different systems, doing it with 2 different coordinators, doing it with 2 different coaching staffs, all of a sudden gives it more validity. It makes it more real. It makes it more serious. First 6 or 7 games of the season, if he picks up right where he left off, you're basically now talking about a full year's worth of that type of production. Then I can seriously entertain this. But I really don't blame the team for maybe taking a more cautious approach with this. I really don't. And I understand why people are kind of jumping on them because he had such a good year last year, because if you're not first, you're last, and if you wait, it just becomes more expensive. But we do need to consider how small the sample size really is of Michael Wilson looking the part of a wide receiver one. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's looked the part. Those 8 games, he looked like a wide receiver one. He looked like somebody that you would want to give the contract extension to. But unless you're getting a deal, I don't know if there's a huge risk you run of just waiting to see it a little bit more. And now, again, if he starts to play the same level as the season begins, we're going to be on this show saying, let's not let this get to the end of the season. Get this done before the end of next year, of this year. I don't want us to get into March, into April, into May, into training camp next year with this hovering. If he plays well to start the year, just get it done. You've now got a large enough sample size. You've seen enough. Now pay the market rate for a wide receiver, and go lock up Michael Wilson long term.
And I really do think that's what they'll do. This is kind of the conversation we've had about Torrey, right? Like, in 23, they get off to that great start, and you get that deal done.
Right.
And that's exactly how you need to play it if you're the Cardinals. Do the right thing here. If I see it, and I thought you made a great point saying it's a different system. It's a different offensive coordinator. It's the same quarterback, but it's going to look a lot different. And it's going to be what we assume to be a run-first offense. And if you can put up similar numbers, I think that this is an opportunity for them to say, hey, we know we have something here in Michael Wilson. We found something towards the end of last year. We really want to capitalize with this and get this locked up, because we think we have a receiver room that can play with the best of them across football.
480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it is all the stories we didn't get to here today on the show. We call them the leftovers. We'll get to them next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
It's the lunch break with Chris Schubert.
Jacoby Brissett, a rework deal that's going to pay him $15.5 million this year, guaranteed. This is a fine deal for the Arizona Cardinals. There is no such thing in sports as a bad one-year deal. Jacoby Brissett is a guy that is supposed to get them through this one season, help Mike LaFleur get off to a good start, and then he's going to pass that baton. Oh, by the way, the $15.5 million comes in lower than a bunch of other starters. So among starting quarterbacks, it's either at the bottom or it's close to the bottom.
Live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Morgan & Morgan isn't just an injury firm. It's our family's life work. It's my husband, it's my sons, it's me. When we take a case, we see a family just like ours. $30 billion recovered is something I'm proud of. But what I'm really proud of are the families we stood beside. It's an honor to fight for you when you need our support the most. Morgan & Morgan, for the people and your family.
Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Arizona lawyer will handle Arizona cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
The Smashing Pumpkins return. The Rats in a Cage Tour. 2 unique sets celebrating melancholy at 30 and nearly 4 decades of unruly hits and dark treasures. November 11th, Mortgage Matchup Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. The Smashing Pumpkins, the Rats in a Cage Tour, live.
By the time August rolls around, you've stopped being surprised by the heat. You walk outside, you get in your car, and wait for the AC to catch up. And at the end of the day, the one place you need to be cool is home. Your AC has been running since May, morning, noon, and night. And when it stays hot overnight, it never gets a rest. It just keeps grinding until something gives. At Gettle, we've been doing this for over 85 years. We know what a summer like this does to a system. Call us and make sure your home is the one place the heat can't follow you. GOETTL. We'll keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
Your local Arizona Lottery retailer is full of new and exciting possibilities because draw games just got an upgrade with more prizes, more drawings, and more chances to win. Your favorite draw games like Powerball, The Pick, and Pick 3 are now better than ever. Games start at just $1, so you don't have to pick one. You can play all 4 new and improved draw games today, including the brand new Pick 4 game. Play today at a retailer near you. Arizona Lottery. Love the play.
The Dan Patrick Show.
The Dodgers get Tarek Skubal. I think the surprise might have been, are you giving up big-time talent to get him? Tarek Skubal had the leverage by saying he wanted to go to the Dodgers, wanted to go to the West Coast. The key will be moving forward, the kind of contract Tarek Skubal is going to want. Of course, looming large is there going to be a lockout at some point?
Weekdays, 6 to 9 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
All right, let's get right to it. All of the stories we didn't get to here today on the show, we call them the leftovers. And producer Evan gets to them now. We're up against it, so I'm just trying to keep
We
us.
are. I got one story. It's a bigger story.
All right, so you want the... All right, let me... There you go.
It is MLB trade deadline grading. Every team's moves from Dodgers and Nationals to Yankees and Orioles.
All right.
And we can do this a couple different ways. I'm going to offer. I can read it to you, and we can go through each team.
Like a bedtime story? You're going to read to me like it's a bedtime story?
Or I can give you the team and you can guess their grade.
I love a good guessing game.
This is on CBS Sports.
Yeah, all right.
So
at least it's not Bleacher Report. So.
Yep. Nope. This is CBS Sports here.
Okay.
Obviously, it starts with the Arizona Diamondbacks.
C-.
D. Lars Nootbaar is a perfectly adequate get, but that was it. Did they really not want to address the rotation? I suppose the return of Michael Soroka will help, while Merrill Kelly and Brandon Pfaadt have been going behind All-Star Eduardo Rodriguez as of late, but it seems like they could have used a massive upgrade.
I'm hoping that you just read that blurb because it was the Diamondbacks.
I'm not going to go through it.
Okay, because we'll be here
correct.
for days.
The A's.
An F. They didn't do anything.
I got a D. I said the A's, right? Or
You said the A's.
The A's, yeah. The Braves.
B+.
C.
I like what the Braves did.
Braves settled for Tyler Mahle and Lane Thomas, but was not enough.
No, but that's what the Braves do.
Yep.
That's what they do every year.
But it wasn't Jock Peterson and Jorge Soler.
They tried to get Jacob deGrom. He said no.
Yeah. Baltimore Orioles. I think this one's wrong, actually.
How are they going to feel about the return that the Orioles got back? I think they're going to like it, so I'm going to say A-.
They gave him a D, so they hated it.
So they hate the return? Yeah, I don't agree.
They hate the return. I actually really liked what Baltimore did, and they locked up Samuel Basallo long-term, so it felt like he was going to be the catcher of the future, so they gave him a D. The Boston Red Sox.
Well, if they gave the Orioles a D, this has to be like an A or an A+.
Correct. Yeah. The Red Sox get an A. The Cubs.
The Cubs should get a B+.
Cubs got an A+.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
The Chicago White Sox.
C+.
Get a B. Biggest move, adding Luis Castillo to the rotation. He looks potential to decline, but they do like the move.
Okay.
And they think that the Tigers dealing away Tarek Skubal is a win for the team. I guess they have a lot of games coming up with the Tigers. The Cincinnati Reds.
Cincinnati D.
A C to go along just with the logo. A C for the Cincinnati Reds. The Cleveland Guardians.
Oh, this should be an A+.
I think they did.
Yeah,
I think they did outstanding. This is an A.
It's one of my favorite deadlines.
Yeah, me too. We talked about it early, but the Nathaniel Lowe, Joe Waddell, and Foster Griffin. I think it's really, really a nice job by them.
This is how we get ourselves into trouble.
Nathaniel Lowe.
It's
only Brandon Lowe.
Only Brandon.
The Colorado Rockies.
I mean, what? Brenton Doyle out.
Yep.
Senzatella out. C+.
B-.
Okay.
You're right there.
Same difference. Same.
The Tigers.
C+.
F.
Why did they give them an F? I don't know. Don't read me the whole blurb, but is it?
Well, the first line is, "This is the easiest call of them all." By trading away back-to-back Cy Young winner Tarek Skubal and Casey Mize, their second-best starter this season, the Tigers undertook a teardown despite being within close range of playoff position.
I can't argue with that logic. If you're going to say that they were close enough to where they shouldn't have done what they did,
and having the second-best run differential in the entire American League.
I hear you. They were always going to trade Skubal, though. That was always going to happen. If the reason why you gave him an F was because of the Skubal package, like once they traded Skubal, they had to trade Mize, okay? They couldn't do both. They couldn't do the buy-sell thing.
They could not do the buy-sell thing. We're running out of time. I'm going to start reading some of these to you.
All right.
I think we guessed for a while.
All right, fine.
The Houston Astros get a C for their addition of Dalton Varsho. Just was not enough. The Kansas City Royals also get a C. I don't really know if they did much other than trade away a couple guys. The Los Angeles Angels get a C. Typically it's a D or an F for them, but they get a C this time around. The Los Angeles Dodgers, I'll let you fill in the blank here.
A+.
A+ for the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Miami Marlins. I want you to guess.
D-.
A B.
I think they gave up on their season a little bit.
I thought so too. I think this is a shock for me. The Milwaukee Brewers get a B+. Yes, they missed out on Skubal, but they believe Dustin May's strong underlying numbers and increased velocity are a big addition. They deserve an F. They're going to go out there and start Dustin May in Game 2 of the NLCS against Tarek Skubal, and they're going to lose, and it's going to be their fault at the trade deadline. Twins got a B. Mets get a B. B. I think this could be lower.
B-. I think is where I would have it.
The Yankees get a D.
Yeah, I mean, you went out and got two guys that help you in certain areas, but you didn't address any of the major concerns. You didn't go out and get any relief help. You didn't get a catcher. You didn't get a second baseman. You didn't get a third baseman. You added two bats. Like, Ramos is a decent outfielder against lefties as a platoon option. But you just didn't, I don't think you did enough to fill your actual holes on your roster.
I agree. Phillies C, Pirates B+, Cardinals B+, Padres A, Giants B, Mariners C, Rays B, Rangers D, Blue Jays B, Nationals A.
There you have it. Another edition of the lunch break in the books. Jim Rome is coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.